The latest wave of protests in Iran, ongoing since late December 2025, began as an economic uprising primarily triggered by soaring inflation, a collapsing currency, the Iranian rial, and deepening hardship for ordinary people who are struggling to afford basic goods. The first major flashpoint was a strike by shopkeepers in Tehran's historic Grand Bazaar, where merchants shut their shops and took to the streets in response to the economic crisis. This economic discontent rapidly expanded to broad political grievances, with demonstrators in many cities chanting slogans critical of the country's clerical leadership and demanding significant reforms beyond purely economic fixes. Protests have spread widely across many regions of Iran, with rights groups reporting demonstrations in over 200 to 250 locations in at least 27 of Iran's 31 provinces, including major urban centers and smaller towns alike. The unrest has drawn participation from a diverse cross-section of Iranian society, from bazaar traders and students to workers and ordinary citizens, reflecting widespread frustration with both economic mismanagement and political repression. The Iranian government's response has been a mix of repression and limited policy concessions. Security forces, including police and Revolutionary Guard units, have used tear gas, pellet guns, and, according to multiple human rights accounts, live ammunition to try to disperse protests. Iranian authorities have also carried out mass arrests, with rights groups reporting over 1,200 to 2,000 people detained so far. Protesters and bystanders have suffered casualties, with at least 25 to 36 people reported killed by human rights groups, including some minors, though the Iranian government does not release a full official toll. Among the documented casualty reports are cases of individuals such as Mohammad Nouri, a 17-year-old protester who was reportedly shot during demonstrations, and the Kadirian brothers from Kermanshah, who were also killed during clashes with armed forces, illustrating the human cost of the unrest. In several areas, protesters have expanded the focus of their actions beyond street demonstrations to funeral processions that become de facto protests, highlighting the emotional and symbolic weight of casualties. These funerals in parts of the country have themselves drawn large crowds and become additional flashpoints for anti-government sentiment. The Iranian government's public messaging has remained defiant. Senior judicial officials have warned that there will be no leniency for what they describe as rioters, even as the president has attempted to distinguish between peaceful protesters and those he calls rioters, urging security forces to avoid indiscriminate crackdowns. Officials have also shifted economic policy slightly, for example by modifying subsidies, but these moves have so far done little to quell unrest. Internationally, the protests have drawn attention, including statements from foreign leaders. U.S. President Donald Trump has publicly voiced support for Iranian demonstrators and issued warnings that the United States could respond forcefully if Iranian security forces were to kill peaceful protesters, adding an international dimension to the crisis. Despite widespread social unrest and mounting pressure on the government, there is no verified evidence from reliable news organizations that the Islamic Republic is collapsing, that its top leadership is fleeing the country, or that large numbers of security forces have defected to the protesters. Such claims circulating on social media have not been corroborated by major international news agencies. Official Iranian state media continues to maintain control in numerous areas, and the central government remains intact. In summary, Iran is experiencing one of its most significant protest movements in years, driven by intersecting economic distress and political discontent. The situation remains highly volatile, with ongoing clashes, arrests, escalating casualties, and widespread demonstrations that show no clear signs of ending. but assessments of regime collapse or mass defections are not supported by verified evidence at this time.